And loaded with your main man, my dig, and my dog, Troy King. Pipe down and turn this up, man. Yeah. Third eye open, focus. Yeah. Rolling my tree, just smoking. Everything potent. Say what I want, no glucose, no sugar coating. I break it down, I do my history. Plus I'm the truth and I'm super sharp mentally. Boy, I'm a god, you're not seeing me physically. Plus I stop you, I'm talking about literally. Me and my shorty, so don't see the chemistry. Work for what we got, hustle hard a lot. Y'all can never take this energy. Nah, writing on the wall, plus I'm still a dog. Half further down, let you see. Rock a cookie with the shades on, dog. Nobody coming after me. It might be an actual casualty.
I know that you mad, cause I got my own clientele, ain't got that bag. You know who I'm talking to, cause boy, I beat your ass. I see you mad, I got that bag. Yeah.
Hold on. We're gonna let that play for a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that special time of the day. It's the best time of the day. You now locked and loaded with your main man, my dig, and my dog, Troy King. Pipe down and turn this up, man. Yeah. Third eye open, focus. Yeah. Rolling my tree, just smoking. Everything potent. Say what I want, no glucose, no sugar coating. I break it down, I do my history. Plus I'm the truth and I'm super sharp mentally. Boy, I'm a god, you're not seeing me physically. Plus I stop you, I'm talking about literally. Me and my shorty, so don't see the chemistry. Work for what we got, hustle hard a lot. Y'all can never take this energy. Nah, writing on the wall, plus I'm still a dog. Half of it, I don't let you see. Rock a kooky with the shades on, dog. Nobody coming after me. It might be an actual casualty.
I know that you mad, cause I got my own clientele, ain't got that bag. You know who I'm talking to, cause boy, I beat your ass. I see you mad, I got that bag. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that special time of the day. It's the best time of the day. You now locked and loaded with your main man, my dig, and my dog, Troy King. Pipe down and turn this up, man. Yeah. Third eye open, focus. Yeah. Rolling my tree, just smoking. Everything potent. Say what I want, no glucose, no sugar coating. I break it down, I do my history. Plus I'm the truth and I'm super sharp mentally. Boy, I'm a god, you're not seeing me physically. Plus I stop you, I'm talking about literally. Me and my shorty, so don't see the chemistry.
What's good?
We got hustle hard a lot. Y'all can never take this energy.
Gotta get my leg up in here.
Wall, plus I'm still a dog. Half of it, I don't let you see. Rock a kooky with the shades on, dog. Nobody coming after me. It might be an actual casualty.
I know that you mad, cause I got my own clientele, ain't got that bag. You know who I'm talking to, cause boy, I beat your ass. I see you mad, I got that bag. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that special time of the day. It's the best time of the day. You now locked and loaded with your main man, my dig, and my dog, Troy King. Pipe down and turn
We in the
this
building.
up, man. Yeah. Third eye open, focus. Yeah. Rolling my tree, just smoking. Everything potent. Say what I want, no glucose, no sugar coating. I break it down, I do my history. Plus I'm the truth and I'm super sharp mentally. Boy, I'm a god, you're not seeing me physically. Plus I stop you, I'm talking about literally. Me and my shorty, so don't see the chemistry. Work for what we got, hustle hard a lot. Y'all can never take this energy. Nah, writing on the wall, plus I'm still a dog. Half of it, I don't let you see. Rock a kooky with the shades on, dog.
What's good? What's good?
It might be an actual casualty.
I know that you mad, cause I got my own clientele, ain't got that bag. You know
good?
who I'm talking to, cause boy, I beat your ass. I see you mad, I got that bag. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that special time of the day. It's the best time of the
Man, what's good? What's good with y'all? Why is my phone taking all day to charge? What's good? Hey, DT, we don't even be thinking on here because once you put on the actual footage of George Benton, you see where the skills is. You know, all of them is nice. DT, boom. We live. We about to get that Telegram going real quick. Hold on, we gonna get that way if you want to just plug in with the Telegram. We getting a Telegram link going. If you want to join that, join. Or you want to come in, pause. To the video chat on the Telegram. If you want to come in on the Telegram and spit some bars, I put the links up there. I put the link up there. You can come in on the Telegram. We just getting in. We just getting it in. We not even, you know, we don't really be planning these. We just be on here rapping for real. I said, I ain't doing nothing. Let me go. Let me get a live in real quick. Hold on, let me see. Boom. Boom. Can you hear me? Boom, can you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Let me change you to the loudspeaker for real. Say something again. Say something again, Boom.
What's up with Brian?
Man, what's good, blood?
Shit, nothing but these bills and these kids, G.
Man, I feel it. Yup, we ain't doing nothing but just doing a little
Shit,
live.
I wanted to ask you about Jersey Joe, bro, because I was watching some film on Jersey Joe, and I was seeing how he was moving and how he was stepping, and I was remembering about the feet crossing thing, but I was like, he wasn't doing it in the pocket. He was doing it mainly outside the pocket. So I was trying to find understanding, like, what's the difference between that versus what Boots was doing? But you explained that in the James Tonian, but I want to ask you if you can go into more detail about that description.
Okay, that's a good question by my man Boom. Real quick. what you said was basically what's going on is that unless somebody is in range to hit you, so if you stepping and crossing your feet like you taking a walk and you switching stances and doing different stuff, when you out of range to give a guy a look, that's different from then when somebody in range and on your ass cheeks, pause, to where you're doing it out of desperation because they're in range for to hit you. That means they're in range to get hit. So that means if you're doing a move like that, then you're not in a position to actually punch from that said move because you can't punch with your feet crossed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why it's just not good fundamentally. It's good for when you're trying to throw somebody off and make them reset. But if you're using it to like get out of trouble through desperation, it's going to affect you in the long run because you're not in range. You're not in a position to score. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say. Yeah, you ain't in position to score.
And one more question before I get up out of here, because I had 2 questions I want to ask you. I was going to ask you this offline, but shit, I might as well ask you now because they simple boxing questions.
Yeah, no.
You said something on the boxing, I think it was on the Boxing Voice, about black fighters not being offensive, pressing forward. I couldn't have said that shit better myself. I agree with that. But what do you think black fighters need to do to, instead of just being so defensive, because a lot of black fighters like to swim and not get wet. So what is the best way to help them get over their fear of, number one, fighting in the pocket and pressing forward? Because a lot of black fighters don't press as much as Mexican fighters or European fighters.
First, learn fundamental defense because you don't want to just come forward in the sense of not having fundamental defense because you're going to get cracked upside your head. So then secondly, once that's learned, before you even learn that, watch the fighters who was good at coming forward. And I don't mean just any Mexican style. Yeah. Like the Canelos, the Chavezes, Edwin Rosario, Felix Trinidad, Wilfredo Benitez. Even Tommy Hearns could come forward behind a good jab. You know what I mean?
But he was always coming forward behind the jab, though.
Behind the jab, though. You know what I mean? Andre Ward learning how to get up in there and get work and press you. Even Bud. It's just different things you need to do to learn how to get forward. Now, first, let's start with the tapes. You know what I'm saying?
Marvin did too.
No, of course, Marvin. He don't even count. I'm just trying to use somebody that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, the people don't know. Like the Sugar Rays. Just different guys.
Go forward.
No, Sweet Pea did come forward too. But like people on the gram saying that like I was saying that no black fighter can come, but of course some of these guys, they don't really know me. So they don't know that I'm talking about these young bucks.
Right. Well, that was pretty much it, bro.
I'll let you
real quick.
Even,
you know what I'm saying? Talk a little shit.
Even my man Dwight Muhammad Kwawi. Yes.
Yep. He was elusive at coming forward. Didn't he fight Holyfield?
Yep. Twice.
Yes, sir.
Did they say that was one of the greatest fights in light heavyweight history?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, where you at right now, bro? Because I need to get some work with you one time for the team, G.
I'm in the Bay. I'll be at East Oakland Boxing Association.
Okay. You don't be at third? You don't be at third that much?
Not that much, but unless Paul hit me up, because Cam needs some work from Aaron or something. Other than that, I usually be at East Oakland.
Quez, huh?
Who?
Quez. Jaquez Hackett.
No, he don't be trying to work.
Oh, for real? He be pussyfooting around? He still pussyfooting?
Of course, bro.
I gotta talk to Quez.
Yeah. He was in there with Cam last talking about he don't want to hit Cam hard because that's his young bright, bro. He's way bigger than you and will knock you out now.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Quez, bro. Cause I used to train with Quez. It used to be me, Quez, and Goose used to train with P. And Quez used to do the same shit with me. Like he wouldn't want to hit me, and I had to actually like tell him like, bro, I'm gonna give you some work, bro. I'm gonna press. Then you gonna have to hit me to keep me off you, G.
Yeah, Terry Norris can come forward too.
At the end of the day, bro, I guess, I mean, I'll talk to him though.
You definitely do, man. You know, a lot of these guys, they still living in the past. And they think they know boxing, but they never fought professionally or did enough competing in the amateurs.
Yeah, and that's why I don't even like overly exaggerate my experience. I just been doing it, the martial arts, for so long to where like I could spar with people and they be thinking I'm professional, and it's not that I'm professional. I just been doing it for so long.
No, when you're doing
I've
it, yeah.
So many different levels. And I'm not saying I'm more pro or better than most pros, but I can get in there with them. I can give them work, and I can say that much. But to try to like I would never try to out-talk boxing with you because you got more experience. That's stupid.
But it's not even like out-talking, bro. It's just like, it's not even about out-talking. It's just like really knowing the craft.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, with motherfuckers like you, I listen because of your experience. Now, a motherfucker coming to me, never fought before, never fought on an amateur level, didn't even do point karate in his lifetime. Trying to tell me something because he watching YouTube videos. Oh yeah, he getting cooked. I'm cooking him. But somebody like Paul, you, Mike Rayner, D. Pooler.
That's right, Quiz.
People that I know that
the amateurs made him that way.
I actually like to listen to y'all because y'all up my game. And I think the problem with people, even in my position, they afraid to admit when somebody know more than them. And it's okay to admit that somebody know more than them because once you learn from them, now you know. You know what I'm saying? If I'm making sense.
No, you is. Hey, by the way, this is my man DT3 Boom, man. Listen, you got to follow his page. Been out here in the Bay for a long time. Good peoples. Been at 3rd Street Boxing, teaching Muay Thai, kickboxing, different arts, and know how to box too. We've been around for a minute doing this. How old is you now, Boom?
42.
Oh yeah, I'm 45 on the Gregorian calendar, so most definitely.
Yeah, I started doing Weishi Ryu karate when I was 14. I went from that to doing Muay Thai and boxing with Muay Thai boxing at Pacific Marine Sports when D. Pooler was there. And I was training with him and Mike Rayner, and then I left there and went to 3rd Street, and that's when I just solely did boxing with Paul. I spent more time boxing than doing Muay Thai. And my boxing acumen and my training in boxing is what made me have the respect for combat sports as a whole. If it wasn't for boxing, I wouldn't be who I am today. That's why I even made a boxing channel first.
Oh no, that's real
So
talk,
I owe
blood.
a lot of my knowledge, my skill set to the sport of boxing at the end of the day.
You heard it. You heard what he said. Get that man his check, please.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I gotta roll. I gotta check on my peoples. You know what I'm saying? I want to send a shout out to everybody out in the chat. Rest in peace to my dad. My dad just passed away yesterday.
Oh man, condolences, blood. Oh man, condolences.
You know what I'm saying? But rest in peace to David Boyd III, my dad. I'll be going down to Texas to be with my family, and I appreciate everything that you do on the net, Hamza, bro. I stay watching, bro. Keep the knowledge flowing, bro, because niggas like me is learning, bro.
All right, bro, I got you, man. Condolences to Pops. You know what I mean? You know, that's all that can be difficult, you know what I mean, when your pops is gone, but you know, it's a part of the process. Condolences to his pops. My man, we got my man Khaled in here. You can hit the link if you want to get up in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat.
Yo.
What's good?
Yo, I'm calling it so we can tap in on that question I asked you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. What was the question?
So, question was, out of these, so James Toney, well, I guess it's a multi-folded question, right? It's gonna be layered. It's gonna take some time. I'm challenging you on two hard-ass questions. Number one, rank who is the best offensive fighter from 1 to 3 from Pernell Whitaker, James Toney, Floyd. Who was the best defensive fighter? Then, who was the better fighter overall, whether that's based on, because I think all these guys could do everything in the ring. Box coming forward, going backwards, sit in the pocket, counter, go to the body, educated front hand. They had everything. So of those three, though, who was the better fighter, and then rank them from 1 to 3?
First, the best defensive fighter is Floyd Mayweather because the CompuBox numbers prove it.
Okay.
The best overall fighter is Floyd Mayweather due to longevity and taking care of his body.
Okay.
All right, Floyd really took care of his body. Then James, Tony, and Pernell is a tie. But don't get me wrong, bro. James, Tony, they're in a class of their own. But Floyd really gets the nod because it's just longevity, bro. Floyd got that longevity. You know what I mean?
James boxed for a nice little minute too, though. Anyone?
No, but James, only thing I would say, he didn't take care of his body. So we really didn't get to see the true potential of James.
That's true, too. He had bad habits outside that ring.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's all. Pernell did, too.
For real, Pernell had bad habits, too?
Oh, yeah. I know somebody who used to it's a guy named Mario Lasperance who used to coach out here. Cool guy, older guy who had mad Emmys. And he said he used to know Pernell, and he said Pernell been hitting that weed.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah.
Hey, cannot hit that weed, but why you...
What are my thoughts on Amari Jones? Oakland native. Amari nice, blood. That's the nephew. That's the young bull. I sparred Amari before. Definitely got some decent work in him. It was good work. I'm just so experienced.
Yeah.
Like his uncle tried to bring him to the gym on some... He tried to come to the gym on some... He tried to come to the gym disrespectful.
His uncle?
Yeah, this one I was at Guardian. He came in the gym. Yeah, we in here. Get your old ass niggas up out of here. It's done. It's a new wave. He was talking crazy. I was like, what? I ain't even know, fam. Then he came in and I said, hey, bro, you better show some respect up in here, man. That man cannot see me in no ring. So then we got warmed up. It was me and my man Mark Sean in there. And then Amari got in. This one I was like walking around like I am now, like 150. And then we did 5-minute rounds, 3 5-minuters. And it was during Ramadan too. I was fasting. So I was probably like 149.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just played with him. For real. Just played with him, bro.
Did you find that you had more energy and all that during Ramadan? I find that I have more even when I'm training and shit like that. I'm fast and I feel like my body's more energetic. Did you find that as well?
Yeah, what's up with Sean Hamilton? Yeah, I did find out. I mean, yes and no, because you don't be hydrated sometimes.
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
As long as you stay hydrated, you good. Hold on, we got C Quiz in here. Does Haney beat Ryan in a rematch? No, he doesn't. If it happens, so many Haney Glazers block me just for stating he won't retire undefeated. Listen, bro, he didn't beat him outright in the amateurs. And just stylistically, it's a hard fight because, like I said on The Voice, learning how to fight coming forward for these new guys is not a thing. They don't really know how to do it for real. They be having problems. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, man, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, they be having problems coming forward for real. So, I mean, it's just when they learn that and really step out of the way of them feelings, then we can get somewhere.
Who can teach him how to do it though? Like as a current trainer outside of Robert Garcia, maybe a few other guys. I'm talking about mainstream notable guys. Who's the guy?
Ronnie Shields, Buddy McGirt. Ronnie Shields and Buddy McGirt.
Okay. Diego with Buddy now. He finna have him right.
Oh yeah, listen, that's gonna be a hard fight now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be a hard fight for somebody because once you get in there with somebody who really know what they doing, and you know a lot of guys be like Styles make. No, listen, certain coaches are good. No, it's the coaches who really was pros that know the basics and the fundamentals. They could teach anybody because they're gonna start you. Shout out to 555 on the time. They know how to train any and everybody because they're gonna start you out with the jab. You got ninjas calling Haney pound for pound #1 and get blocked for disagreeing. These Haney fans think he's Floyd for real. Shaking my head. Damn near pretty boy the way they spam Debo in the comments. Hey, bro, I'm going to just say you tell y'all something out of the Bible because that's the most familiar book for y'all. Matthew 7 verse 6. Do not cast pearls before swine. Don't do it. Don't do it, blood. It's just going to make you upset because they don't know what they talking about. So you just got to realize that. Why is that not? Yeah, my bad, y'all. I'm just trying to get the trying to share this Telegram link.
Did you get a chance to see to watch Big Baby Miller fight yesterday or any highlights of it?
I watched some highlights of it. He is who he is. I will say he did look like he was in better condition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he over there in Philly now with Bozy now.
At least they work out hard. They might not have the best fundamentals over there, but at least they work out hard.
He called out Wilder.
You know, it could be a tough fight for Wilder, but an active Wilder is hard to beat. That's another thing that really stunted his career because once you start getting them big fights, the activity slows down. It's like you gotta have this hard fight. I mean, you gotta have this lucrative fight. Man, there's plenty of heavyweights out there you can get work with that will keep you sharp and active, and you could just keep taking those paydays to keep your tools sharp.
So when you on the activity mode, for example, like the best way to do it, cause I remember James Toney fought like 4 times. He got Fight of the Year when he fought like Michael Nunn and Mike McCullough in the same year, and he fought some white boy.
Woo!
Yeah, that was crazy.
My nigga cooking. My nigga is cooking. That's what get me. That right there is what get me. That's what get to pause. Let me calm down. That's what get the juices flowing. Pause.
Nah, bro, I'm with you, bro. I be on that. We definitely looking at studying Lights Out in his whole career.
Hey, blood.
It should be studied.
Hey, bro, that's crazy. He fought. Say that again. I ain't hear that.
Bro, he fought Michael Nunn and he fought Mike McCollum in the same year. And he had 2 other fights prior to that. I forgot the white boy name, but he went 12 rounds on him. It was a war. They argued, thought that he lost that fight. And he had one more fight in the same year. That's why he got the 1991 Fighter of the Year.
Hey, bro, you get the garlic butter gang gratuity gift. You really, hey, bro, that's information. I didn't know that. I didn't know those fights came back to back like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the same year. You know, and then you know what else? But what I was getting at was, see, that might have played a role. Cause number one, he was at 160 at that time. My like main point is like the activity part, but I'm building up towards it. So it's like, all right, you fight 4 times, but some people might have thought that was crazy for him fighting that many times because of the caliber of fighters that he fought.
Yeah, I remember that Vasily Jurov fight.
Just keep taking them type of scraps, which they did.
He was cooking.
Bombs in there. You gotta have a good guy, a good contender, who's a B plus or a B plus B, then a C, then some D's in there. He damn near went all A's, B's, and shit like that, fighting 4 times while trying to make 160, and he wasn't as disciplined. So, you think that played a role? Oh, well, first question is that an example of proper activity? A B, B plus, a C, and then some D's and F's.
No, that's a fact, blood. You gotta do that, because if you look at Sugar Ray Robinson's record, he got so many fights, blood. He got all different type of people in there. Like 0-on-1, you're like, how is they the commission? But we just staying active. Everybody getting work.
Right. Just staying up in there. Now James Toney doing that in 1991. You think that being that even though he was young, do you think that played a role, or like that may have hindered him at all? You know what I'm saying? Just overall as a fighter, just fighting that level back to back.
No, bro, that's actually making you a better fighter because it's like that's like in the NBA, that's back-to-back games. That's the thing if you an up-and-coming fighter. This the thing if you, hey, listen, I'm just throwing this out there. If y'all still hating at this point, you're gonna get booted. That's like that's like Bronny James Jr. Like the more he play, the better he gonna become. Playoff experience is like
playoff minutes.
Yeah, that playoff minutes is like 3 games.
For sure.
They really hooping. You gotta think, if you fighting Michael Nunn, you fighting these top guys, bro, and you winning, that'll just make you better. Build your confidence. Man, listen. I'll use my own self. Like when I was fighting like 3 and 4 times in a row, bro, that's just get you sharp, bro. I'm sparring Amir Khan's, Prentice Brewer type guys, or I ever have Virgil sparring them guys and then go to a fight. That's crazy, bro. You guys think sparring Amir Khan and then going to a fight of somebody who's not Amir Khan. Bro, you're not as fast as cuz. You're not even doing nothing close to get me to use my going deep in my bag.
Yeah, it's just a different level. The Mike McCullen, really both them scraps. Really James Toney whole career, but his one.
I mean, fighting Mike. Hey, bro, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I didn't even mention that. But anytime you fight Mike McCullum and then Michael Nunn, what are you doing? You're not ducking no work. That's kind of crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Mike McCallum is one of the greatest fighters of all time. I can care less what anybody thinks. That's called underrated.
Right, exactly. He was like very different. He was what you call like almost perfection, but kind of perfect. Like if you're gonna build a fighter, he's like one of the attributes. Like him is an example of like what you want to have, like long arms, good jab, box. You know what I'm saying? Cause he gonna touch that body. He not prejudiced towards the body. Like he's gonna talk to it, meet it, address it, conversate with it, get real acquainted with that body. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro. He was serious.
Yeah, definitely one of the highest skilled boxers of all time. Nobody want to work with him.
Yeah. He was supposed to get some. I was watching a documentary about him. He was supposed to get some work with a Duran, but something came up. I think somebody interfered, and then he ended up leaving Stewart because like Tommy Hearns was the guy. It was just boxing politics. Like you couldn't really shake out of that Tommy Hearns shadow. It's like Tommy Hearns is the guy. So it's like, but then once he ended up leaving, he ended up beating Milton McCory or something like that. One of the fighters, which was a very good scrap. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was very good, bro. Very good. Man.
No, he was definitely. Fighter, bro. Mike McCallum gets nothing but respect on here. The body snatcher definitely will counter you to the body and wake your game up. Listen, he stopped Julian Jackson
in like 2 rounds.
Listen, he beat the dog mess out of him. Yeah, defense, and see, I'm gonna have to talk about that next time we go on to like Boxing Voice or something. You got to talk about that because he could show Shakur and these other fighters how to stay in the pocket with a puncher. That's bars. Those are bars.
Right.
Stay in the pocket with a puncher, bro. Because you got to really learn how to do that.
That's important. And he did it, and he showed you what to do. He got caught, he had a good chin, but he came back immediately to the body. Immediately touched it. I need to touch this because I can't get hit with that again. So we gonna touch that real quick. So yeah, bro. And hurt him. He didn't know who Julian Jackson was though. Like that's what it like we saying that name, and you kinda gotta know when I say nah, he stopped Julian Jackson. You gotta know who the fuck Julian Jackson was to even understand why that's so insane.
No, that is insane, bro. That's kind of crazy.
For sure, bro. For sure.
It's kind of crazy, bro, because Julian Jackson, one wrong move, you're out of there. One mistake. Listen, you know that when you run your finger across your throat, pause, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm over here eating goji berries. Listen, goji berries are good for your white blood cells. They wake them up immediately. That within an hour of eating goji berries, put it like this, goji berries are fuel for your immune system. Berries or fruits, they have the most electrical content. Like you gotta eat goji berries, dog. I'm about to buy a bag like today. I'm about to spend like 50.
Where you buying from?
Amazon. I'm gonna put the link in the John for the squad. This is just an open dialogue. My man C Quiz said if you can't hold your ground, it gets tricky in there. Yes, it does, buddy.
What's the deal, Hamza?
What's the deal with Sean Hammy?
What's good with it? Hey, I hit your Zelle, man. I don't know if that was the right one or not.
Is it troyking111?
Nah, I sent it to your number.
Oh, the 410 number?
Yeah. I'm sure, Mo. Just checking to see if you got it.
I'll check real quick.
Yeah.
I'll check, buddy. Don't even trip.
I heard y'all talking about James Toney and homeboy mentioned.
Yeah, James Toney and Mike McCallum.
Something about that James Toney. Yeah, Mike McCallum and then Michael Nunn were.
Yep, I heard y'all. Yep, hell yeah.
Yeah, they definitely had like those fighters had some of the best all around skill and technique, and a lot of young fighters could look and watch them guys and learn how to get better from watching them guys. For real, because they definitely had the skill.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you, bro. I know what I wanted to ask you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I this month, for the month of April, I want to look at Durant at 135, like that 70s run, like when he first got the belt and just his title defenses and just looking at him. Hey, bro, Roberto Duran at 135.
It's unbeatable.
Floyd at 135. At Floyd though at 135. How you think that will go stylistically? What should be the game plan, and how can each guy neutralize each other guy?
Man, I'm gonna go with Floyd because if you watch Roberto Duran against Sugar Ray, he don't like the movement, and Floyd's feet, it was so technically fast and sound. He's gonna be moving, bro. He's not about to stay there with Duran.
I was watching some of them fights at 135. He was a little lighter, a little faster, and like a little younger.
No, he was.
Picking the feet up a little bit.
He was.
It still may not have been able to keep up with it, but I think that 47 Duran and like 35 Duran. Well, 47 he was a lot slicker, but at like 35 he was athletic and he was getting to you. And it was just non-stop, and he was countering with the right uppercut. He was just on you. He was like a wrecking ball. So, but the athleticism of Floyd, it is Floyd Mayweather's feet. This ain't Hector Thompson feet we was in there with another white boy I saw him with.
Hey, bro.
This ain't them. So I feel you, but at 135, man, and he was different.
Hold on. I'm just Hector Thompson is crazy.
Yeah, man. Hector Thompson. They actually fought twice though. They had a good little scrap, but I think
hey, shout out to my man Sean Hamilton with the $4 Zelle. We appreciate you. And $4, man, that's my aunt. That's a law. Truth, love, law, justice, and order. God needs you in order to come into the world. If you're not in order, you can get your pack busted. You want to be in order. And, you know, that's just about the order of operations. For real. But, yeah, bro, I'm going to still say Floyd because when he was at 135, his first fight was against... Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing Jose Luis Castillo with Roberto Duran, but... he still had the aggressive style, you know what I mean? And when he fought him the second time, bro, and was moving, even the first time with the torn rotator cuff, it was still difficult, bro. Because he was boxing so good. So good. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard.
Money, man.
Say it again.
I said that's when he was Money Man. Money Man with Pretty Boy Floyd. My bad.
Yeah, no, that's when he was Pretty Boy. My man Low from Low Nose Boxing said Duran didn't like movers because even at 135, he struggled twice against a mover by the name of Edwin Viret, who took Duran 15 rounds twice. and those fights were close, you need to check him out. Hey.
I'm going to watch. Thank you. I'm going to watch it.
Hey, Lo, hit the link and come in on the Telegram. You can really get your work in. Hit the link and come in on the Telegram, Lo. I sent you the link. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you have that ability.
Join. Come join.
Most definitely. Lo, that's what I'm trying to tell him. Like, the fact that Floyd's speed, his punching power at 35, and his defense, it's going to be hard to hit him.
Yeah.
Roberto can't, even if he's trying to come in and be aggressive, you're not going to be able to hit Floyd. For real.
Also, too, just to add on, just to argue just on the Duran side, you know, because I am like going with you on that. But Duran was good on that inside. He had that inside work, and he just gonna touch all parts of the body. Like,
yeah,
get the hitting the arm, hitting it. He gonna touch everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just another part of it. Floyd can still deal with it, and he punching at that weight too. He punching at every weight, but 135 hands of stone
is really boulders of granite. Hands of stone is really boulders of granite at that weight, bro.
For sure, at that weight. At that weight, for sure.
He really punching at that weight.
Bro. That's
boulders of granite.
Yeah, bro. That's a good scrap. Hey, bro, I know you don't want to see this scrap. I know you're not high on it, but who would you? How you see the O'Shaquie, Foster, and like Ray Ford scrap going?
I mean, I don't mind seeing it, but I'm just like they ducking Navarrete. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'm just, you know, from what I'm looking at. Yeah, this comes from this my man Khaled from TBV. I don't know, bro. I want to see that fight because Raymond Ford really got work out here. Raymond Ford got work. He been in there. O'Shaquie Foster got work too, but this is not Stephen Fulton or whatever, Stephon Fulton or whatever dude's name is.
Yeah, it's not. Definitely not none of that. You know what I'm saying? Ray Ford. I watched Ray Ford get in there with the. Now, granted, like the Russians, they don't like the pressure. You know what I'm saying? But he was down and he had to stop him in the 12th in the last second. Like, he had to really do that. Then he got the Nick Ball work with him, and he wanted to go up, and he still stayed there, and then went 12 with Nick Ball on the. I can't even make this weight no more, but I'm gonna just get in here. And he couldn't even move in that fight. He just had to stay in there. So. Nah, he a real guy, you know, and he moving up, he healthy. Now his last two performances, they've been okay, you know what I'm saying? It ain't been crazy, but you know, I think he's gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be ready. What should be the game plan for O'Shaquie Foster and like Ray Ford?
It depends on what O'Shaquie likes to box and use the jab. He should try that, you know, and see how that works at first if he's a slightly taller man. And he got, you know, longer arms or whatever. But Raymond Ford looks like he's decently athletic. So, you know, he can stay up in that pocket and work. My man Low in the building. Hold on, you gotta unmute yourself, Lo. We can't hear you. You gotta go to the hey Lo, you gotta go to the John and change the thing because we can't hear you. We still can't hear you. Yeah, you got it. We still can't hear you. Just come in regular on the voice, John, Low. But anyway, yeah, I want to see that fight, bro. That's gonna be a good scrap.
Yeah. Ray Ford got a box coming forward because Oshaki. I mean, cause look, they're around the same height, but Oshaki got the long ass arm. So you gotta try to come. You gotta come in there, work behind the jab, getting up in there. But hey, you low key. Ray Ford, to me, I don't see him really moving his head like that. I didn't see some Ray. I don't see him moving it. Like I don't see him moving it. If I'm wrong, hey, please somebody correct me. But it don't seem like he be moving that dome piece. And I know to get in range with that Oshaki, you're gonna have to do. So he kind of stay in that high guard a little bit and trying to work up out of it. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a slightly favor Oshaki, but it's definitely some good work. Slight favor on Oshaki because I definitely see Ray Ford still winning.
Yeah, I want to see that too. That's gonna be a good scrap. I gotta see that. Y'all still there? Can y'all hear me? Hold on, let me. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see that, John. My bad, I was muted. I was trying to get back to the John. Ford like to sit in the shell. Yeah, he do, bro. That's gonna be some work. He ain't gonna be able to sit in that shell. He gonna have to use the jab.
Yeah, you gotta have an education with that.
Low, you gotta go to the bottom of the John and unmute. It should be at the bottom. But yeah, man, I want to see that, bro. That's gonna be some good work. That's gonna be some good work, definitely. Hey, Lo, if you listening, you got an iPhone? I think you all got an iPhone. The mute should be at the bottom, blood. C Quiz said Ryan and Haney made the same mistakes they did in their fight. It's time for a run. Yeah, it's time for a run back. But that's the thing. Haney don't want to be. Haney don't. Everybody. They not making no money with Haney, so he's stuck. He done ran out of real estate. He done ran out of the real estate, so he gonna have to take the bread or put up his own bread. And ain't nobody. He ain't trying to put up his own bread for no scrap. They done already pulled that card. My bad, Khaled, if I hit the button or did something wrong. Foster and my man. Milo Williams said Foster and Ford getting at work with each other. Yeah, I still want to see them fight Navarrete, bro. C Quiz said he plays the A-side game too much, but his resume don't say the same. Youngest to fight at MGM don't make you the best. It doesn't. No, see, that's the thing. A-side is about accolades and money. It ain't just about, you know, having accolades. Errol Spence showed you that against Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford had way more accolades, but he hadn't been on, you know, didn't have those numbers. And you can't take that to the bank. You know. Dude in here earlier said that Quiz also said Spence started listening to you and then critiques you made because he started moving his head versus Porter and Garcia, but an accident pauses development. It wasn't just an accident, it was an unhealthy lifestyle. That's what be pausing you. The unhealthy lifestyle in there really is cook you. Lo still don't know how to unmute the John, bro.
Come on, Lo, bro. I need to hear about that Robert work, Duran work. I need that breakdown, and I need to hear about his a perspective on that Xander and Boots. You know what I'm saying, without being on no 3-minute clock.
Yeah, no, it's a fact.
We need to hear his thoughts on that. You know
I've been hearing Xander speak. He said it's gonna be different because he not a small guy coming forward, one-dimensional. He can box, and that's what I keep telling people. They gonna be like, man, they gonna be shocked.
I keep wrestling with it because that's what my mind is telling me, like, nah. But then I like hear some of my Philly Bulls break some stuff down, and of course they got the bias, and they be like, hey yo, Boo's about to beat the shit out of him. I'm like, damn, it is a little bit of that. And then when they break that down, it's like,
What are they breaking down?
They haven't given a technical. Well, no, they haven't got. So Breadman said that Boots is he's the better athlete, he's the harder puncher, he's the more talented fighter.
Talent don't win fights. Skills do.
Yeah.
So he's not more skilled.
Yeah.
He not.
Go ahead. Nah, go
I'm
ahead.
just saying he's just not more skilled. So yeah, see, what talent describes athleticism. You know, he might be fast, he might be punching with some decent snap, but it's a 12-round fight. Xander is a bigger guy. He's gonna be you coming up in weight. You putting on 10-ounce gloves.
That's true too. Then my man Greg Hackett, he gave an example. He highlighted something outside the ring that is like, all right, as a fighter and just a dude that's been in camps and just witnessing certain things and just his overall perspective on it. I like, all right, I was trying to see where he was coming from, but he highlighted the fact that when like Boots and Xander went to do they sit down or whatever, like the lady twirled, she was trying to twirl each of them around and kind of look at their outfit. And she twirled Xander around. Xander twirled around like, oh yeah, check, you know, he was in his Puerto Rican, you know, he was Puerto Rican back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like Boots, she tried to twirl Boots around. He like, nah, we ain't doing all that. And he was saying that to say like he's on charge, he on go, he not really in play mode right now already. Like he not trying to be.
I don't mean shit. Man, took you.
Let's fucking go, yeah.
Took you fucking 2 years, my nigga.
Gonna make the never, man. You know what I mean?
No, that's facts. Shout out to my man Lo from Low Nose Boxing. We in here.
Yeah. And I got an interesting take on that Boo Xander. You know what I mean? Because I'm a New York Rican and I'm also a Philly Rican because I have a lot of years under my belt living in Philly as well. And Xander's Puerto Rican. So here's my take on that fight without being biased. I believe Xander got better fundamentals than Boots, but Boots has more athletic gifts. He's the more explosive fighter, the more athletic guy. He's more fast twitchy, and he's a harder puncher. I believe Xander's gonna give him a lot of problems, but I think Boots his special effects is probably gonna make the difference. Now, who I'm rooting for? If it was Xander against anybody else, I would be pro Xander all day. But at the end of the day, I've been to Bozeman, Jim. I met Boots and I met his family. I never met Xander. And so at the end of the day, this is a fight where whoever wins, I'm happy for both of them. If Xander wins, I'm happy for the fact that Puerto Rico, the island, finally gets an elite level world champion, which is something we haven't had in a while. And if Boots wins, I'm happy for him for the fact that he finally got that exposure on the highest level. Now, my main man was just saying about the Roberto Duran situation. I was telling him there's an old man that be in my neighborhood by the name of Edwin Varenne. He trained Alex Stewart. He's a good trainer from Gleason's gym. And he fought Duran twice. And I have to correct myself. He went 10 rounds the first time as a non-title fight, and then he went 15 rounds the second time. And he gave Duran 50.
No, he's not. The Barrios of the 154 division.
At 135.
That's not it,
and
bro.
yeah, he was pretty good, bro. Like I said, you gotta check that fight out. That was Duran.
No, he's not Barrios. He's way more skilled than Barrios, bro.
He fought Edwin and he fought his brother Rodolfo Rivera.
Yeah. I need to look at that. I'm gonna watch those crap.
And that man, if you see him to this day, he still talks that sharp. There's videos of him on YouTube giving demonstrations, talking about the fight with Duran. He still got his marbles, and he always talks about it. That he stresses the importance of his defense is the reason why he's still talking the way he's talking. Because he was hard to hit. He had very good footwork.
And you still training? Like guys?
Yeah, I believe so. He trained Alex Stewart, and he works in Gleason's gym. You know what I'm saying? That's my feeling. He told me he still works in the gym. I don't know what fighters he has right now, but he trains some pros, you know?
Hey, yo, all right, so what you think Xander gotta do if you was in Xander's corner, what would you be telling him to do in order to beat a guy like Boots?
I think he gotta let Boots take the front foot. Because Boots is a slick fighter, right? And the problem with slick fighters, slick black fighters, I'm gonna say slick fighters, period. Because T.O. falls into that equation, and he's not even black, but he fights in style. Slick fighters don't know how to come forward from what I've seen. They don't know how to come forward effectively and cut the ring off. We've seen Boots struggle against Calvin, right? We've seen a lot of those guys struggle when coming forward. So Xander, even and to Greg Hacken's point, Greg Hacken was like, yeah, he still won. Yeah, he did win, but he showed weaknesses. Now, if you think there was something...
Hey, C. Quiz, his southpaw is trash.
When he's making a miss and making a lunge, when he's coming forward, that's what Xander got to do. Xander got to move around, but not over move. Move in a nice circle, step out of range enough to make Boots miss, and then hit him with sharp counters and keep the jabs. Keep using different type of jabs. And then Xander also knows how to fight good on the inside. You know, he's good at medium range as well. So he can get some shots off from there, but then get back on the stick. Don't get too overzealous and stand there banging out with Boots, because Boots, to his credit, is a hell of a counterpuncher, and he can hit you real hard with some shit you don't see. So I think Xander will have to box him, but without moving too much, but moving enough to make Boots have to work to try to come forward. Because until I see him effectively cut the ring off, I'm going to say that he looks like he struggles cutting the ring off, coming forward.
That's real rap. Like, if until we see you do it, then you can't do it. I don't want to say what you can do or like what you've been working on. We haven't seen it, so at this point you can't do it. Hey yo, as a huge chief,
that's a fact.
Guy,
that's a fact.
How are you feeling about him still with his pops, saying that nut ass shit he said in the car? Like, how are you feeling about him just as a fighter? Him like moving up his team. How you feel about the fight? Like, what's your overall thoughts on him right
now? The bull is a nut.
As a P.O. supporter, I'm not a fan of the things that he said as far as the cringy stuff. As far as outside the ring, I don't like the stuff really like with the black stuff that he's saying. Like, well, come on, man, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't feel like but to his credit, as far as outside the ring, unlike everybody else's favorite fighters, he'll come and talk to you without no bodyguards, none of that. That's what I admire. But I'm not feeling his way of trolling, right? If you want to call it trolling. And as far as him and his dad, you know, you don't really see people really get rid of their dads like that. So I believe what he should do at least is bring another trainer and tell his dad, sit him down and say, listen, Dad, if you want me to really get better at the highest level, we're going to need to bring somebody else in as the head coach. You want to still be part of the team, you can be a part of the team, you can do this, you can be here for motivation, but we need another voice and somebody that's going to show us some new things if they want to take it to that next level. And what I've noticed with the father sons in boxing, because we've seen a lot of fighters, father son trainers where people talk about get rid of the father. And the Latin fighters never really get rid of their fathers, bro. I noticed that. They said the same thing about Danny Garcia. He never got rid of Angel. They were saying that about Tito at one point. You know what I mean? He didn't get rid of his dad. They're saying it about Tito. He didn't get rid of his dad. You know, some of the African American fighters, they made the jump and got rid of their dad. We seen it with Brian Norman Jr. We seen it with Shane Mosley. We seen it with Floyd. You know, I feel like some of my Latin brothers got to take notice of that and do what we got to do to get better, man. You know, because I think Tito, with the right trainer, with a Robert Garcia, or if he had a Floyd Mayweather Sr. with his more sharper, he'd be one of the best fighters. He got all the gifts in the world to beat all these guys, but, you know, it's also a mental thing as well, you know what I mean?
Really, SI, did you hear anything about why he stopped training with Eddie Reynoso? Because that was the guy that was going to help him out. But he left him. So did you hear anything about why that was?
I mean, from what I seen on YouTube, you know what I mean? Even though some of them, they had to go to Saudi to train Canelo, and Tito stood in New York, and then that caused a rift or whatever the case may be.
Man, why did that cause a rift, bro? You just gotta just chill and know he coming back, or just go with him. You know what I'm saying? And just be around. But I don't know. Like it's tricky to say because everybody got different circumstances. You got a son, you got a child, and all that type of shit. But then also too, it's like, hey, bro, like just go out there then and just kind of see the preparatory work and just still try to get something. You know what I'm saying? Just because that was what he needed. Because had he been with Eddie, still by now, he could have maybe had a different strategy that he could have implemented against a guy like Shakur versus whatever the fuck he was doing in there.
Yeah, I think Robert Garcia would be a better fit because as good as Eddie Reynoso is, he did a hell of a job with Canelo. He already got those guys using the jab like that. I noticed that. And that goes for Canelo as well. Now, Oscar Valdez, even though Oscar Valdez got dropped in that fight with Shakur, at one point of the fight, there was a point where Oscar Valdez was having some success. So Oscar Valdez was doing better than Tio. Once again, Oscar Valdez does know how to come forward to an extent. Robert Garcia would have been a better fit because Robert Garcia was showing him how to come forward while using the jab. That's the difference between Robert Garcia and Eddie Reynoso. Reynoso stresses the head movement a lot more, but Tio already got head movement. He already knows all that slick stuff. He just got to implement the fundamentals of coming forward behind the jab, you know?
Yeah, and it's the footwork too. Like the footwork isn't probably where it needs to be as well.
Yeah, it's too much. He kept doing that shift where he does, where he'll jab and then he'll come with the backhand and turn his whole body over. And he shifts a lot, and he was doing that a lot. They thought that shift was going to neutralize Shakur when he steps back, and it didn't. All it did was put him out of position and made him land at a point where he had to reposition. And when he was at that stage, he was getting popped with that right jab the whole time.
Were you at that fight?
Yes, I was.
What was the energy like in there? How was the atmosphere?
The energy was dope. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting amongst a whole bunch of Shakur fans. So I was loud as shit at first, and then I was quiet after a while.
That's fucked up. When that shit happens, you gotta just shut up now. Like, damn, we kick
man, losing, bro. You know what I'm saying? But this might ruffle a lot of people's feathers. I think Richard's a hit that beats all of them.
Yeah, my fault. Hey, yo, he got to get some work. That's what I was saying. He got to get some work. Like, he over there zoofing now. I need to see him get some counter band work or something. He got to get some real work. Now I know George Cambosa work. He got to get some work.
Yeah, I agree. But the reason why I say I think, because stylistically, like we were just saying, Slick guys don't want to come forward. What you gonna do with that guy? He's 5'10" with a jab and knows how to box. He knows how to step
I
out.
got a question, bro.
Go ahead.
Why do people always slam Zoo for boxing, dog? I actually like it. I actually like what Dana White is doing, bro. Hate on me or not.
The reason why they be slamming Zuffa, not to break up the y'all kicking it, but that y'all was really, I appreciate y'all doing y'all thing, because really gives me a break from having to talk all the time. Zuffa Boxing is trying to do what they do to the UFC guys. They're not doing it now because they trying to hook and bait them. But once they, do whatever they try to do to the Ali Act, it puts it to the point where you can't even, I heard Malignaggi talking about it, and he makes a great point. You can't even bring the guys into court over your contract. You cooking yourself. You know what I mean? You have no leverage in court because the Ali Act allows you not to be a manager and a promoter, meaning setting you up for your fights and promoting them, because once that's monopolizing the game, and plus you own, monopolizing means owning the whole surface, like owning everything. There's no third party entity looking over things. And what that does is, if they don't like you, like Roy said, and they don't want you to fight for a belt, you will never get it. And then it don't matter how much money you accrue through ticket sales and the revenue you can accrue, 100 million, you only get, if they say we're giving you 500,000. That's all you getting. That's what made Floyd so special, because, excuse me, everybody knew he accrued, $1 billion to Vegas and, all that money. So he would say, well, I can at least get 10% of $1 billion, which is 100 million, you know what I mean? But when you take the Ali Act out of it, now these guys, excuse me, they can do what they want with contracts. There's no commission looking over the contracts and things like that, bro. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. You need a third party like this. They'll put it like this. The state you in has a right to look over contracts, even if, now I'm just saying because the IRS don't really exist like that, but for those purposes, the state can look over and say, no, he getting unfair wage for the money you pursuing. That's like a law. Say like you work at a job and the job got 20 members paying $1,000 each. And then, but they paying you below minimum wage. That's illegal and unlawful. You know what I mean? So that's basically what they trying to do. Malignaggi made it a good point. Like, you can't protect yourself in court, at least with the Ali Act. It could use some extra, skin on it, pause. But the way it is now, you at least could take somebody that had due process in court. Without that, you get no due process. Actually, that's unconstitutional. That's the 6th Amendment. You can't, they might not even think of passing that because it's unconstitutional. But a lot of the guys they have speaking for it, I never heard nobody mention that. You have to, and it's not off subject, but you have to know, listen, you cannot talk money in the United States without knowing the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. Period. Because one of the amendments states that any dispute over $20 could be brought to federal, Supreme Court, blah, 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 blah. Those things is crazy important, bro. Crazy important. And when they try to do that, bro, it hinders the sport, because that's what they complaining with the UFC. That's what the UFC trying to do. That's what the UFC is doing.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess I was just speaking from a personal perspective.
No, but everything else that you saying, everything else you saying is on point, because you getting your work and blah 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 blah. it's really a hook and bait, but as of right now, it is cool. But as it goes forward, once they try to monopolize it and do like they're doing the Ali John, it's going that the guy's not gonna be getting paid. I would only be doing like one fight deals.
Real quick, Zuffa is a promotional company. Zuffa's not a network, right?
Zuffa's not a network. The network that Zuffa is on is Paramount.
But what I mean is, like, to watch it, that's
what I'm saying. The network, when you go on TV, it's on the app called Paramount. That's the network. Zuffa is a boxing company, a promotional company, and a management company. It's like the UFC. The UFC don't have its own, like, network, do they?
But the fights are on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is the network.
All right, so they're gonna be on Netflix. It's all good. As long as we're not adding no more different
No, Zuffa is on Paramount. They not on Netflix. They on Paramount. The app called Paramount.
They like had a couple fights on there, but they like really with Paramount though. It's only certain big fights they might spin off on Netflix.
I got you. As long as the big fights are on Netflix, because I'm tired of all these networks now. I miss back in the day when we had this HBO and Showtime, and then we had other channels like USA Tuesday Night Boxing. I don't know how old everybody on the panel is. You know, I don't know if you know about that, but Tuesday Night Boxing was lit back in the day. Y'all know about Tuesday Night Boxing?
Oh, yeah, on ESPN. Real quick, Lo.
No. Go ahead.
My bad. The Sixth Amendment states, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused, see, like when somebody do something wrong to you, this criminal, they stealing your money through contract, it says the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with witnesses against him, to have compulsory process of obtaining witness in his behavior, and to have an assistance for counsel for his defense. Basically saying that once I see that you've accrued all this money and you pay me less money, the Ali Act prevents you from taking them to trial. So that's what makes it unconstitutional. Because if you can't take somebody for trial for theft, because that's one of the common laws, I haven't hurt myself, I haven't hurt anyone else, I haven't stolen anybody's property, or I haven't damaged something that doesn't belong to me.
Real shit.
And that's what C Quiz is saying. That's how Dana has been running the UFC since it started. That's all. Go ahead, y'all cook.
Hey, y'all want to piggyback off? Hey, just respond to what Lo said about Richardson Hitchens. I was just thinking about it tonight. All right, so look, Gary Antoine he's not elite at boxing coming forward, but him and Keyshawn is pretty solid at doing it. So I think he would give Richardson Hitchens some problems, hence why he didn't want that work. Richardson Hitchens has a good jab, but is not real educated. If somebody can tell me to fight, I can go look at where I can see him hooking off of it, going to the guts. You know what I'm saying? Like uppercutting off of it, like doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? You know.
You right, C Quiz.
With it.
He has been running the UFC like that.
I would have more faith in him. Man, he's not comfortable on that inside. He be real scattery and jittery in there too. He don't really be comfortable in there. Now, he's a taller man, so it shouldn't be that much inside work he getting if you just education with the jab and just running that right hand when they come in and uppercut and all that. But just in case, he don't got no, we seen what him and Shakur was doing in that time. He don't got none of that work. Like,
facts.
He don't got none of that work.
I agree with you 100% when you said your assessment on him and your assessment on Gary Antoine Russell. What I meant by Richard Hitchens beating all of them, I'm talking about him beating the other guys that are supposed to be the slick fighters, like him and Shakur, him and Devin, him and Tio, right? However, whoever takes the back foot first will win. But being that he's a taller guy, him taking the back foot against those guys, I will give him the advantage because we already seen Tio don't know how to come forward. I've never seen Shakur come forward, so until I see him do it, that's the bug at the job. So, until I see him do it, I can't, you know what I mean? Same thing with Devin Haney. Last time he came forward, he got dropped all over the place. Now, with what you said about him fighting Gary Antoine and Keyshawn, that's something I can somewhat agree with because Hitchens gives me something like Vernon Forrest type vibes. He can box his ass off, right? But when he goes in there with guys with pressure, with power, and with volume, he kind of panics, like Vernon Forrest did against Ricardo Mayorga. So he might not be good at dealing with those kind of guys, you know? He might not be good against guys that come at him like that. But that's the beauty of boxing because styles make fights. Just as I mentioned in one breath, I got
Bobby Light, that's crazy.
I got Hitchens losing.
That's a fact. See what I'm saying?
Right? But Hitchens beats Tio. But if you put pressure guys like that against Tio will chop them up. So just like Shane Mosby was chopping up guys like Mayorga, guys like Margarito. Vernon struggles against those kind of guys. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Sabura would have been his career would have been longer, and he probably would have had he would have been an overall better fighter if like he would have had that pressure he had with a jab. You know, if he had that same type of pressure I would have jabbed, he'd be like 3 times better. But you know what else? But I think Richardson Hitchens and like Devin Haney, I think is the most interesting fight out of all the guys because I think that so Devin probably got good power at 147. Well, solid power, you know what I'm saying, solid. And I think that Richardson moving up made like feel stronger as well. And then just stylistically seeing what those guys gonna do, I think those guys gonna try to step to each other off rip. Because I don't think any guy is too much worried about the punching power of like either guy. So I think they like might get to it and like step to each other off rip. I think that stylistically that's the most interesting fight because I think Richard Hitchens is about 5'10". Devin might be about 5'8", 5'9". So Devin gonna have to do some type of forward shit, but it's gonna be interesting to see how like Devin approach that type of fight. You know what I'm saying? Like what is he gonna do? You know, and same thing with Richardson Hitchens. Like he for like I said for like as good of a jab as he had is not real educated. You know what I'm saying? He's not really in there, you know, he ain't really faint. I mean, he might be fainting with it, but I mean, I ain't seen it, you know what I'm saying?
It's more of a spear jab. I gotta get you right.
Yeah. It's just more speared and he's just trying to set up the, you know, like the double jab right hand and shit like that, which is good. It's a great thing for like a taller guy, but you know what I'm saying? He could really have more in like the repertoire. But I would like to see him and Devin Haney. Hopefully you can get that. Hey, Lo, how you feel about Shakur and like Raymond?
Oh man, bro, you gonna get me started with that one. Before I get to that real quick, what you said about them not respecting each other's power was funny because that's something me and Hamza was talking about on a private conversation over the phone. So, you know what I mean? We was talking about that regarding Devin and Shakur. Cause we were talking about a lot of times when you got two guys but they don't really crack like that, they might take more chances with each other because neither one of them really fears each other's power. A perfect example in the 90s, right? When we had that great welterweight era of Trinidad, Oscar, and Corte, there were two slick brothers that fought at the time by the name of Darryl Cody, who was a very skilled fighter, very tall, very lanky, and Overcar. If you ever heard of Overcar was a slick guy from the Detroit, from the Crime Gym. And they were world title challengers. They never became champions, but they were very skilled. And they fought each other. That's the fight you gotta watch, man. Like, if you get a chance, add me on Instagram. I'll be sending you shit. Just sending Hamza stuff. That's a hell of a fight to watch. Those are two guys that went there. They went at it. Now, to answer your question about you asked me about damn, what you asked me before I went to that.
Shakur and Raymond Mortatai.
I think Shakur Stevenson is holding up the 145 division. I think it's, you know, the two worst things that happened about this is, bro, I don't mean to sound biased, was Canelo losing to Bud Crawford and Tio losing to Shakur. And I say that because had Canelo beaten Bud Crawford, right, Canelo would have still been, he's still active, but there still would have been some hope for maybe a Benavidez fight, right? Buck Crawford, it benefited him because for me, it propelled Buck Crawford to GOAT status, top 10 all time. He retired, right? With Shakur and Teal. Had Teal won that fight, I'm sure Teal would have won up there and fought Devin Haney without a rehydration clause, or he probably would have fought another champion in his division before moving up. Because at the end of the day, whatever you want to say about Teal, he really got no picks. Even though he did some shit, but he made up for it by taking smoke. Now, Shakur went down to a division that he's way better than to fight a guy that, in my opinion, was outboxed by Andy Cruz. I thought Andy Cruz beat Raymond Moritalia with the exception of the last 2 rounds. He took his foot off the gas and the fight got close. I think Andy Cruz beating Moritalia. So once again, this is another example. We're going to see a slick fighter against a tailor-made, flat-footed, come-forward Mexican-style fighter instead of matching up with another slick fighter. So yeah, Shakur holding up that division, bro. Nobody cleaned up 140. The last guy to do it was Josh Taylor. Even Teal became champion. He didn't clean up the division either. Shakur became champion. I'm hoping maybe Shakur will fight Antoine. He'll fight Hitchens. He ain't doing it. He's going back down to 135. It's crazy. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah. I don't think I would say that what's his face did not beat because of the fact he spent too much time. Andy Cruz didn't beat him. He spent too much time on the ropes, which gave Moritalia the ring generalship. You know, even though he was landing some good shots, but he was spending too much time on the ropes. You know, he didn't have a...
He was getting counters though. His defense was tight and he was landing the counter shots, you know?
Bitch, you got to land those in the middle of the ring. You can't be against the ropes landing them.
He did good. Yeah, I remember.
It was a close fight. I'm gonna rewatch it. It was a close fight, but I would give Raymond like the edge, like you said in the last 2. If he had to win the last 2, he won. So it was like that means he won the fight. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good fight. But Raymond seen that look, like he fought a 2-time gold medalist. So he's seen that look. You know what that looked like. You know what I'm saying? So that's not gonna be, you know, too out the or even though and Shakur and like Andy is like a little different. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind seeing them 2 fight.
Who, Andy Cruz and Shakur?
Yup.
Yeah, that'll be a good scrap.
I think that Moritalia fight, if anything, that fight should make Andy Cruz better. You know what I mean? And Andy Cruz, you know, one thing about Andy Cruz, he's getting good work where he's at. You know, he's fought with guys like Kevin Swammer and stuff like that. So he's seen slick fighters before. And once again, he comes from the Cuban school, and now he's Americanized. He added that to his repertoire. I think Andy Cruz is going to be high. He got a tough fight, though. He's fighting the tall guy from Ohio, Albert Bell.
That's going to be a hard-ass fight.
He's not going to win that. If he don't fight coming forward, he's not going to win.
And he's not going to do it.
And the Albert Bell, that's the Ohio School of Boxing. The Ohio School of Boxing, OSOB. They use
Does he fight tall, or does he give his height away?
All Ohio fighters can fight inside and outside. He kind of like Abdullah Mason. He ain't
that's a hard fight. That's a hard fight.
So that's why he's saying it's a hard fight, because Albert Bell not gonna let you come inside. He just ain't gonna let you come up in there on no front door.
I always hear about Albert Bell. I heard about Albert Bell through main man we call her on TVV. Think Trees from Ohio. He's always repping Albert Bell, and that made me check. I saw one fight where he did look like he was tall, but he looked like he was kind of giving his height away. That's why I was asking, because if he gives his height away, he can get outboxed. But like I said, that's an interesting fight. I can't wait to see that fight.
It's still gonna be hard because he's 6 feet.
At 135.
At 135, blood, and he be jabbing and using range.
Andy Cruz is chasing rap. I can give it to him. He's chasing rap.
No, he getting real work.
Hey, let me say something about Raymond Moritalia real quick about how. So look, he don't be in there moving his head enough. His defense can be a little tighter. However, he got long ass arms. He like punching combination. Robert Garcia is his coach, and he gon'. You know, and he got fast hands a little bit. So that's a difficult fight. Like, I want to see, like, Shakur got to beat his ass if he gonna beat his ass. Like that's a good style for him to kind of neutralize because it's different from what T.O. was, and he not just knocking shit out. So he gotta keep building himself up by just whooping all styles and just beating the shit out of everybody. That's all right. Who is this? All right, he's a former champion, and he should fight him at 140 because Raymond is the IBF champion at 135. He's trying to move up. He don't want to be there. So you the champ at 140, just take the voluntary. You know what I'm saying? That's a decent little scrap. But he trying to hit him at 135, so that way he can keep him on the IBF 10-pound rehydration, knowing that he want to go up. And it's cool, like, cause you trying to get an advantage. I understand it's about the advantage.
They're not even about to fight Shakur. I think they got somebody else on the table, and then he said he moving up. And that's the thing. That's what makes Shakur weak, because you have the ring and a title at 140, blood. Fight him at 140, but you not, because you soft as drugstore cotton, bro. That's crazy.
Mordecai, what he does good, he does know how to cut the ring off good. And the experience that he has by fighting two slick fighters 3 times, 3 fights in a row with slick guys. He fought Tevin Farmer twice, the Southpaw at that. And then he fought Andy Cruz. So that could make his game better, believe it or not.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's seen them looks.
Yeah. But of course, on a high level that those 2 guys you mentioned, but you know, like I said, man, I think Mordecai is a good fighter. He's at 135. I'm just disappointed because I wanted to see what Shakur was going to do at 140. That's what I wanted to see. He was going to stay there and take on the
man, Shakur don't want to see what he going to do at 140. That's the only thing, bro. He don't want no 140 work, bro. He not trying to get in there at no 140.
147 was about to be big. I ain't gonna lie to you. 147 was dead for a little while. The last time we had a solid 147 era was when we had Bud and Thurman and Earl and Porter and Danny and Boots. And then it fizzled out. It was just Boots and Norman. Then it was dead after that. Boots moved up, and then it was a dead division. Now Devin is there. Ryan is there. Rhodey's reinvented himself. He's up there. Hitchens is moving up there. T.O.'s moving up there. You still got Brian Norman there. You still got guys like Jack Catterall, Liam Powell, the former champion. Sabrina Matias might be moving up. 147 is about to be fuego, for real.
It is fuego, but they got to get the work, though. They got to get work. Yeah,
somebody got to figure it out. That's going to be a deep division, bro.
Yeah. Rolly, niggas didn't want to get the Rolly work, man.
Oh yeah, Rolly. I just found out from my man Lowe that Rolly used to do judo. That's why he's so strong. Like, now Ronda Rousey used to do judo. She was a silver medalist. Like, judo is basically like grappling and throws. Like, hey bro, you're not really trying to get in there with Rolly. They're not trying to do that.
But judo, without the innocence, he punches hard, even though it looks like he can drag left and he want to do with it. But the power is real, though. The power is definitely real.
Rolly, Lo, tell them how they said that Rolly, a lot of guys said Rolly was their hardest puncher. Yeah,
Javante said it himself. And Javante can say that. Javante big credit that dude that can punch. He fought Ryan Garcia. He fought Barrios. Pitbull Cruz.
That's why niggas don't want to get in there with him.
And Vody got better.
Hey, yo, how we...
My bad, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying Vody got better because he's working with the Cuban dude that's good on fundamentals. What's his name? That trainer from the Cuban dude, man, from Miami.
Oh, you talking about Ishmael Salas?
Ishmael Salas.
Yeah, so he's tightened up his game with him. He's still awkward. You don't want to take the awkwardness away, but you want to be able to mix in fundamentals. Where one moment you can go in there and look fundamentally sound, and then the next moment you can explode with some wild shit. That's what made Madonna more effective when he got with Robert Garcia. And that's what Salas is doing with Rolly right now. 1 minute Rolly could be sitting there popping a jab, looking slick, and the next thing you know, he explodes with some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Knock you out.
No, that's a fact. You know, I need to go to Miami, blood. That's what I need to do and get in that gym everybody be at and be training cats, because I got them punch mid gloves. Once I put them on, you gonna get your defense together or I'm gonna punch you in your head. And it's gonna wake your game up immediately. You know what I mean? Like, I really need to, I need to start moving around for real. One more check from this Social Security, I'm really moving around.
Waiting for you to come over here to Texas, baby.
No, I am, bro. I'm really gonna start moving around. I'm really working right now on getting another crib, another apartment, you know what I mean? And then after that, you know, I'll probably just start moving around for real. Like me and my young nephew getting him prepared. I got two young nephews for real. Like, they ain't my real nephews. One is my African brother, Mbe. He from Eritrea. He about 6 foot. You know, he want to box. He'd be a good middleweight. And then Dion is a super middleweight. You know, he walk around at like 175. You know what I mean? He be in shape. Dion would be.
Work with both of them.
You know, you would. It'd be good. It'd be good work for you because you, even though you tall, you know how to work on the inside. You know what I mean? Cause you.
I got a fight coming up, man. 2-year layoff. I'm probably fighting some dude 3 and 33 and 3.
Oh, that's a good fight for you, blood. That's what you gotta get. That's what you gotta get. Them type of scrap. When you fighting him?
Dude, it's gonna be Thursday at the weigh-ins.
Oh, I didn't know it was that close. I was about to say, damn, I wish I could have came down.
Yeah, bro, I didn't expect it to be this close either. But they gave me like a month. Nah, it's a 3-week notice.
Cause hey, next time you got a scrap. Well, how tall is the guy?
Hey, he's my height. He's a southpaw.
What weight is it?
I'm moving up in weight. This is gonna be at 168.
All right. You still can get down in weight though, right?
Yeah, right now I'm at like 173.
All right, listen, next time you get a scrap, bro, I got like a flight pass from Frontier, bro, and then I could just get on a flight, you know, for a cheaper and then just scoot down there. Texas ain't that far. You let me get it. Y'all got basements in Texas?
Oh, you can stay in my apartment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You let me stay at the crib, blood, I'll train you, work with you, and we can work. No cap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah, bro.
After this fight, let me know. Let me know, bro,
Yeah.
because I want to get some, you know, I really want to get some work. I'll get me a coaching license out there. Just my man, Sean Hamilton. You know, we can get some work, blood, because you really could be at like 54. You know what I mean? Especially your height. What you like, 6'4", 6'2"?
Bro, you know the crazy thing, though? There's no running from my problems. I've always struggled with southpaws, and I lost that last one against a southpaw. And then this dude's a southpaw. So I was like, damn, ain't no running from it.
No, it ain't even about that. It's really about understanding the craft, because I'm a southpaw, and that if that's the case, even though southpaws, you know, normally be in there with right-handers, you know, and then they be in there with so many right-handers that other southpaws, they be saying give them problems. It don't matter to me. It's just really learning what type of boxing, and I don't want to just say style, what fundamental techniques you use against an orthodox or conventional fighter versus a southpaw fighter. It's just really knowing how to tie up their jab hand or be comfortable in either your shell or with, you know, right-hander against right-hander, knowing the tactics to use against a right-hander. How tall is you?
I'm 6'2".
6'2", yeah, you pretty tall. Like, fighting at 54 even, bro, like, you would still be giving some cats real work. You know what I mean? Even if you can get to 47. You know what I mean? What's your record now?
After that last loss, I'm 1-3.
That ain't bad still, bro. That's not bad. Like, this is the thing. It starts off like that sometimes. when you don't have the real coaching and the real. And see, you got a good job still, blood. You still got your job.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna come down. Hey, blood. After this fight, let me know, and I'm gonna come down there. I ain't even gonna waste no time. Any fight you get, even after this one, and you schedule another one, I'm just gonna hop on a flight and just come down there. You in Waco, right?
Yeah. Yup, I got you. I'll let you know, bro. I already got you.
Yo, let me know, bro. I'll come down there. We could diet, and then I even get a Texas ID because I want to be able to buy a firearm because I know it's open carry.
Hey, bro, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Like how you was talking about the southpaws. Should it still be the same education as far as with the jab in the front hand, jabbing to the body, flicking it, sticking it, feinting it, hooking? It's still all of that with the front hand, even on the southpaw?
Even on the southpaw, it's all the same. You still got to be able to land the jab. Sometimes it depends on what they doing. If the person you fighting is intelligent, he gonna come out pawing his jab, trying to dictate the range and take away your jab. If he's not doing that, you get free range. You just jab his front hand. If he keeping his hands tucked close to his face, you jab his hand first front hand. Jabbing his front hand non-stop. Just keep jabbing it. Keep jabbing it. Keep touching it. And then as soon as he release the hand, you come off with the hook around his hand. It's gonna clean him. And then the right hand your left hand go down the pipe. So pause. So if he throw his right hand, you throw your left hand right after that. That's the counter. If he trying to throw a hook on you with the right hand, throw a right hook, then you come back with the left hook. Because you know that's hook against hook if y'all was both right-handed. Because you gotta think, it's still, if you was right-handed and you was going against another right-hander, that's why they say don't hook with a hooker. You seen that southpaw on that Matchroom card hit dude with the hook and the left hook and knock him out cold. But that's the thing.
You put him down.
Yeah, that hook come from behind, pause. So you gotta kind of be looking because it could still hit your chin. It's not coming out. Your front hand come out when your hand up. It's easier to block. But when the backhand, that front hand, that your hand to you, if you left-handed and you throwing the left hook, that right hand not really blocking it for real. It's not really blocking it like it would if you was fighting against the same hand. So you got to be wary of that. That's why dude's chin got touched. He thought the hook was going to come around to his glove, but you got to remember that hook is farther back. So when you throw it, it's closer, it's going to hit your chin because it's not coming from a front hand angle. And when you put your hand up from the front hand angle, the glove going to block it. But from the backhand angle, the glove is not going to block it because it's coming from a farther distance back, which makes it a shorter. I know this is going to sound crazy, but the way you stand left-handed, when I throw the left hook, it's coming right towards your chin. It's not coming towards your glove. Just watch that video again. You will see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo, real quick, Sean, you pro?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, I know you said you 3-1 or 1-3, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you this. Alexis Arguello, this is something to inspire you. All right, Alexis Arguello in his first 7 fights, if I'm not correct, lost maybe 2 or 3 times and was stopped in one of those losses. And look at the all-time great he turned out to be.
Hey, you get the garlic butter gang gratuity gift. That was a bar, my G. That's what, hey, bro, what?
He lost 3 of his first 7 fights, or maybe 8. So it was definitely less than 10 fights, and he lost like 2 or 3 of them joints, and one of them was by stoppage. And Alexis Arguello was an all-time great.
Hey, Hamza, real quick, then Lo, I'm gonna ask you about some welterweight shit in a second. Hamza, if you come out pawing the jab, trying to take away your jab, are you just going to the body with yours, like stabbing it, or like what should be the next steps that you're doing with the front hand if he like pulling his out?
If he pulling his out, you either knock it in, knock it up, knock it out, knock it down. That was a bar. So like, say we both pawn. If he pawn, you can knock it up, jab him to the face. You knock it in, come with the hook, or knock it in and jab. If he trying to jab, you can knock it out, jab him down. You can knock it out, throw the right hand to the guts. You want to be able to control and keep knocking that hand down. And when he trying to jab, that's going to make his shoulder tired. Because I know when I be training guys, they don't realize how strong and heavy my arms and like how heavy-handed I really am. So then like when we fence in the front hand, I'm knocking their hand down and pushing it down, and they keep trying to fight it up and doing all, and then next thing you know, they shoulder tired. Then I start hooking the shoulder. You know what I mean? Or then jabbing. Then I'll change the trajectory of my jab and jab around them. Like, it's not just coming straight like a spear. It's coming out like a spear, then I'll curve it around like a short hook and be jabbing them. I learned that from Amir Khan because he was lightweight trying to do that to me. I'm like, man, this nigga trying to jab around my glove in a jab hook type of fashion, and he really trying to work it. So then when he got to doing it, I just kept my hand up in a certain spot, and then I start doing what Larry Holmes would do. Well, you know, I use the long guard. I just jab long guard him. But then I noticed he was hitting my shoulder, and my shoulder was getting dumb tired that day. I'm like, damn, I'm like, oh, because he was kind of hitting it. So then that's what made me learn, all right, I got to build this up. So every time he would try to jab around me pawn, I would just long guard him and take it away. And then another fighter that I trained named Lamont Quarterman was doing that same thing. Like, I remember on some sparring footage I got of him, me and him sparring. He came out the gate jabbing and sticking me to the gut, sticking me to the head because he got that Ohio spear. Blood, he kept doing that. I just kept my hand out like a Russian or like Dre in a long guard and just came to him. And every time he jabbed, I just never moved my hand. And I just kept my hand up, batting it down. And after a while, he stopped using his jab and started letting me inside, pause. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you gotta...
He's an Orthodox fighter too? Or like he's the southpaw?
No, he an Orthodox fighter.
Okay.
He conventional. So like, I put my hand up to his height, to his facial pause, to like his facial distance. Like, even though I'm shorter, because Lamont like 6 foot. So I just raise my hand up to his face level. You know what I mean? And just start coming to him with my hand out. So when he jabbing, I'm just catching all his jabs. He don't know, he wasn't trying to jab around or nothing. So I'm just blocking it up, blocking it down. And I'm just coming to him. And then I'm just using my short jab, like boom, short hard stick, boom. You know what I mean? And I'm just doing it constantly, hand up, boom, short hard stick, pull. And then as soon as he let me inside, then I bring my hand in and start ripping the hook, bang, bang, up and down, uppercut. Then he'll try to get out, get distance. No, I'm just gonna keep. Then as soon as he get out, I slip some punches, and then I just start coming to him again, faking him up and down. Not like how Usyk do it with the hand moving, but that's basically tying up the jab hand. It's like using the long guard and what Usyk doing mixed together. That's just regular boxing.
Real rap. That's real rap. Hey, what about Lo? How you think of Brian Dorman and Rolly scrap will go?
That's a good one. That's a good one, man. I think that's a good fight. At one point, I would have said Brian Dorman easily, but I seen the chinks in his armor. And Rolly got the more experience at the higher level in terms of fighting guys. Even though Devin is good, but Rolly, he's been there with Brian, he's been there with Chin. I don't know. That's a good fight, bro. I think whoever hits each other, I don't know, man. I might probably pick Rolly, maybe, because of his awkwardness. If Devin Haney was able to sit Brian Norman Jr. down, he sat him down and he got up a little bit hurt. If Rolly hit him like that, he might not get up. Brian Norman is better fundamentally than Rolly, but sometimes he gets a little too aggressive. He just charges in and starts throwing punches, and he walks into shots. He do that with Rolly, he'll get clean. That's a tough case. That's a hard one.
I'm gonna go with Brian Norman now because he with Ronnie Shields.
Yeah, but I gotta see him get a couple fights with Ronnie.
Yeah.
To see if he gonna implement what Ronnie trying to get him to do. But
he be listening. He's still young.
I'm gonna go ahead and sign off on y'all, man. Y'all appreciate the combo, Hamza, Low, Sean, and I hope you win your fight. Low, I'm gonna hit you on the ground so I can get all that stuff and show you about that fight.
The same way my name comes up here on Telegram, that's the same way on Instagram as well. I'll send some shit, bro. I'm a fucking
Alright, man, bro. Alright, bro. Salute, man. Y'all be great, bro.
Yeah, hey Sean, man, when you fight this week, blood, how do only 3-33? You really use your jab in boxing, bro. You ain't gotta be on the inside. Use your jab, boxing good, stick him to the guts, move around, take him on walks. You know, if you get him hurt, be aggressive.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, that's it for today, blood. We've been on for a minute. Shout out to my man Low Nose Boxing. Tell them where they could reach y'all at on the IG or whatever.
Reach me on the IG, Low Nose Boxing. You can also reach me on YouTube and subscribe as well to Low Nose Boxing on YouTube.
That's a Low Nose.
I didn't know about him, but yeah, he got mad knowledge, bro. For real.
You know, that's my man, blood. The Puerto Rican pistol packer.
The Puerto Rican pistol packer. Got the heat on him.
No, that was a good bar what you said though about the lead hand control. You said knock it down, knock it up, knock it to the side.
Yeah, you can knock it. Like you gotta think if somebody trying to jab, you knock their hand in towards their body. You can knock it out, knock it up, knock it down. You know what I mean? You can tie it up.
It's funny you mention that because that footage that I sent you when we was talking about boxers that back then they knew how to come forward, right? And this is for you, Sean, being that you fight somebody with opposite hand. I sent Howard a clip when Hector Camacho fought Howard Davis Jr., who was a taller guy, and it was the same situation, lead hand control. And Camacho with his lead hand, mind you, he's a shorter guy. I think he knocked his lead hand down, and then he jabbed over his hand after he knocked it down, right, Hamza?
No, that's a fact.
He was knocking his hand down, jabbing over the jab. And he was doing that being the shorter guy.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Sean, listen, bro, hit me. We can put it together, bro. Just hit me the next fight. I'ma just come down there and we can just put it together, bro. I didn't one of them last fights that my little nephew Hirsch fought, I had put in a bet, won like 6 racks. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Like off of him, like, bro, I'm still I'm not hurt, but if I'd have put a whole rack down, nigga, I would have won 11,000.
Oh.
But I put down 500 and won 6. So, you know, bro, no, it would have been 1,200 because, you know, you get your 1,000 back. But it would have been 12,000. But, yeah, bro, I'm going to come down there, bro. Let me know your next fight. Do not hesitate. I'm going to get on it because I got that Frontier flight pass. I'm gone, bro. I'm going to get on the plane immediately. I'm only bringing the clothes that I need to work out in my boxing bag. You know what I mean? And then we going to get to work immediately.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, bro.
Be safe. You have a good night, man.
Man, y'all too, man. Y'all won yourselves. We out.
Peace.
Hey, y'all, man, that was a good live, man. We still on here for a little bit. Hey, listen, man, we got to end on a good note. We in We always got to bring the Spirit up in here, the Holy One. We're going to use the chart. It's always about the chart. We're going to end on, you know, the second and third law of the Holy Spirit, of the Kabbalah, the law of Tehuti. When all your thoughts, feelings, and actions reflect the word of God, then the power of God's Spirit and the peace that nothing can challenge will flow through your being. I'm going to say it again. This is the omniscience. When all of your thoughts, feelings, and actions reflect the word of God, then the power of God's Spirit and a peace that nothing can challenge will flow through your being. Third law, when the emotions of a man manifest in response to the word of God. One is about reflecting, one is about being in response. When the emotions of a man manifest in response to the word of God, they have the power to influence the course of any and all events in the world. Aguero started 5-3. Hey, we gotta, yeah, I'm glad you put that in there. I'm glad you put that in there. Because I'm about to start working with my man, Sean. We're going to make sure his credit right. We're going to just start going to Mexico and really cooking. We're going to really cook, bro. I'm about to really press these, the CSEA, Child Support Enforcement Agency. They've been trying to extort me, even though I ain't got that much left. And on my John, I still gotta press them. I gotta press them about something. But yeah, man, we gonna get to work. Remember, third law, the law of Seker. Fourth law, the number 3 law. This is the omnipotence, the all power, the spiritual power of the supreme being. When the emotions of a man manifest in response to the word of God, they will have the power to influence the course of any and all events in the world. It don't even matter if it's an earthquake, anything. Listen to it. Hey, you gotta get it together. One yourself. We out.